are some animals out there that many people would never want to meet in person, and a healthy fear of some animals is absolutely fine as long as it's paired with respect for them. But how do you get someone to respect an animal they find absolutely terrifying? Share some wholesome facts about those amazing creatures. And that's exactly what we're here to do today. So let's get into some fun facts about these scary animals. Up first, we have the Tarantula Hawk. Honestly, the name alone is enough to give you the chills, and that's partially because it's kind of inaccurate. It's neither a tarantula nor a hawk, but a wasp. These wasps can grow to be over 2 inches long, and they've got blue bodies and orange wings. They look like what I imagine a child would draw if you asked them to design a new insect. They may look and sound a bit frightening, but the adults are actually nectivores, meaning they only eat nectar. They get their name from their most intimidating behaviors. Female tarantula hawks hunt tarantulas. She uses her stinger to paralyze the spider, which she drags back to her burrow before blocking the exit. Then she lays an egg inside the spider's abdomen. After it hatches, the wasp larvae feed on the spider. Mind you, the tarantula is alive for this entire process and is literally being eaten alive. Yes, that's horrifying, but I like to think of it as wholesome. The female tarantula hawk captures the spider to feed her children. Family comes first, right? Can you really stay mad at that? Next, we have scorpions. Now, I used to live in Arizona, so from time to time we would find a lovely bark scorpion in our home, and my mother is absolutely terrified of these animals. I mean, they've got sharp stingers and venom, so I can't really blame her. If anyone understands the fear behind scorpions, it's me. I've seen it firsthand. Despite the fact that they aren't high on my list of animals I'd like to encounter, I have to acknowledge that they are amazing parents. Mother scorpions are incredibly invested in raising their offspring. You may be shocked to know that scorpions give birth to live young, sometimes called scorplings, and then proceed to care extensively for their newborns for up to 50 days. This isn't very typical for invertebrates, so it just makes these creatures that much more impressive. After birth, the young crawl up onto their mother's back, where they will receive water from mom and protection until they molt, and are encased in a more substantial exoskeleton. After molting, most of the young venture off on their own. Like me, you may not have the best relationship with arachnids, but you gotta give credit where credit is due. That's a fantastic mom right there. Now let's talk about flying foxes, and let's start with the obvious. They're not foxes, they're bats. There are over 60 species of these flighted friends, and let me tell you, they ain't small. The golden crown flying fox has a wingspan up to 5 feet and 3 inches. That's the global average height for women. So yes, they're huge, but don't let them scare you, because 1, they're adorable. I mean, come on, look at that face. And because 2, their diet consists almost entirely of plant matter. They love leaves, flowers, and scrumptious fruits. There are videos of baby bats eating bananas, and trust me, it is the cutest thing you will see all day. Due to their fairly frugivorous food habits, they're also incredibly important seed distributors and pollinators, meaning if you're a fruit lover too, you may want to stop and thank these beautiful bats. They're doing you a favor. Now, of course, we gotta talk about sharks. When people think of sharks, their mind probably goes to big, sharp teeth, and I totally understand that, but it's gotta be said that there is so much more to sharks than what they got going on in their mouth. Not only are they a vital part of our ocean ecosystems, they also come in entertaining shapes. Take, for instance, the bonnethead shark. It's one of roughly 10 species of hammerhead sharks, but its head isn't quite a hammer. It's shaped more like a shovel or a gardening spade. This shark is also the smallest of the hammerheads, only getting to be a conveniently smaller than Jaida-sized maximum length of about 5 feet. But the most wholesome bonnethead fact of all is the fact that from time to time, they enjoy a seagrass salad. That's right, they eat, digest, and get nutrients from seagrasses, meaning that this shark is the only shark we know of that is omnivorous and doesn't rely entirely on animal matter. Honestly, if a small shark snacking on seagrass salad ain't wholesome, I don't know what is. Now let's talk anglerfish. The weird shape, the sharp teeth, the creepy yet cool dangling light, the whole females absorbing their mate thing. I personally would be hesitant to describe them as cute. Deep-sea creatures rarely are. But not all anglerfish are like that. Some are actually very cute. Frogfish are a family within the anglerfish group. They're found in shallow tropical and subtropical waters rather than the deep sea like their more famous cousins. There are many different species and they come in all different sizes and colors. And these colors aren't just flashy. Actually, they're intended to be the exact opposite. Their colors and patterns help them blend into the beautiful reefs they live on to camouflage not only from predators, but to hide from their prey as well. This is a great strategy, but I'm just glad I don't have to do the same thing. It seems like a lot of work. But it doesn't stop there. I'm sure you've noticed their wonky fins by now. They kind of look like legs, and they kind of act like legs too, helping the frogfish prance around the seafloor. Honestly, it doesn't get much cuter than that. And finally, we have to talk about cassowaries. Cassowaries are one of the largest birds on the planet, and with feet powerful enough to break bones and make killer cuts, it's no surprise that it is generally advised that you keep your distance from them. But this big bad bird may have something wholesome hiding in its behavioral repertoire. Cassowary dads are amazing fathers. When a female cassowary mates, she does so with multiple different partners. Once she lays an egg, she takes off. Honestly, it's kind of nice to see a species where the mom doesn't have to do basically everything. Since mom is no longer in the picture, dad takes over all parental duties. He incubates the eggs for about 2 months and then takes care of his new baby birds for about 9 months before they can survive on their own. And during this time, he teaches his chicks how to forage and fend for themselves. So while these birds have a fair amount of blood on their hands, human or otherwise, we have to admire the fact that cassowaries are amazing fathers. Now remember, just because they've got some cute qualities doesn't mean that we should bring them in for a hug. They're still wild animals who like their own personal space, so I would recommend a safely distanced air hug, but there you have it. Some wholesome facts about a few animals that maybe not everyone views as cute. This is the perfect example of why you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Everyone's got something to offer. So let me know in the comments. Did I open your mind a bit to some seemingly creepy creatures today?